Hello, family. Good morning. Kenneth Celebrity Trainer Johnson here. Just want to give you some encouragement. You know, sometimes things are going to happen. You're going to wake up sometimes not really feeling like doing anything. You know, you set a plan. The plan, it sounds great at the time. But then, you know, based on how you feel, you decide, oh, I really don't want to do this right now. Maybe I'll do it later on. Or, you know, like, for example, this morning I woke up. I set a goal last night, set my alarm clock for 4 o'clock a.m. And I said, well, this morning, 4 o'clock a.m., I'm going to get up. I'm going to go to the park on the train like I normally do, my training session. And, you know, last night, it sounded good. And this morning when the alarm clock went off, it was 4 o'clock. I woke up, turned off the alarm. I said, oh, man, I can just get a few more minutes. Just let me just lay it for a little bit longer. Right, so I laid down a little bit longer, then I got more and more comfortable, started getting a little bit more drowsier, and then the alarm went off again. It was like 9 minutes after 4 o'clock. I said, well, you know what, Dag, I really need to get up and go. I said I was going to do this thing last night. Man, I still felt a little fatigued, a little tired. I just need to get up and just go. And then finally, you know, I just got up, put my shoes on, and even while I was putting my shoes on, and this is something I normally do every single day, right? Every single morning, I get up in the morning, 4 o'clock a.m., and I go train. And normally, I just hop right up and I go. But this morning, I woke up, and my mind wasn't 100% there. But I still got up. Even though it was 9 minutes after 4 o'clock, I'm timing how long it takes me to get to the park, right? The park is about 25 minutes away, depending how fast I drive. So I'm saying, well, I can still get there at a certain time. I'm only going to be there for like 30 minutes. So I'm getting up, I'm putting my shoes on, and I'm still not 100% committed at that point. But I'm going through the motions anyway. So I continue to put my shoes on. Get in my truck. I'm driving to the park. I get to the park, right? A little after about 4:30 something. So I'm sitting inside the truck. Now, for Florida, it's getting pretty cold. It's about 50-something degrees. Last couple of days, like in the 40s. But that's no problem to me because I train in the cold anyway. People who know me, I do cold showers, do everything. But I'm sitting in the truck, and I'm sitting there, and I'm still not 100% committed, right? And sometimes that happens. You set a goal, you say you're going to do something, but you're not 100%. It sounds great at the time when you said it. When you said it, you felt great. You felt fantastic. Your energy levels were high through the roof. But then something happens, you know, and then your stinking thinking, it's called stinking thinking, starts to kick in. Now your mind starts looking for reasons to get out of it, making logical excuses to back out of what you said you wanted to do. And that's the problem with a lot of people. They'll set a goal, they say they want to do something, and then for whatever reason, they let that stinking thinking creep into their minds and make logical excuses. Well, you know what? You know, the phone rang, so I had to pick the phone up, so I had to stop doing what I'm doing. Or somebody popped up, so I had to stop doing that. No, I couldn't finish it. Or, you know, I got to take care of whatever other situation right quick. And those situations or those excuses bring people out of what they really want to do, and that's why they never, ever reach their goals. But anyway, back to the story. I'm sitting in the truck, and I'm looking around, right? And at 4 something in the morning, I'm the only one out there, right? Sitting in the truck, and I'm getting my thoughts together, taking deep breaths. Then finally, I get the urge to get out, turn the truck off, get out, go, and I set my alarm, right? So whenever I exercise myself, I always set a timer. So I look at my watch, and I say, Google, set a timer. I set the timer for 30 minutes. So I got 30 minutes to do what I need to do what I planned out to do, to complete my task. I got 30 full minutes. So from start to finish, it's up to me to go through that time frame and exercise, train my body. So whatever I finish, that's great. But if I don't finish, once that timer goes off, I'm done, right? So I set my timer, and I'm still getting committed, right? I'm focusing, getting my mind right. I'm out here now. It's 4 something in the morning. It's kind of cold out here. You know, I'm doing barefoot grounding, got my shoes off. I'm in the grass. let's make something happen. So I start doing my exercises, right? Getting my breathing up, getting my blood flow increasing, and kind of getting my way into things, right? So this morning, for example, I set a goal to do 10 sprints. Now, for those who know what sprints are, sprint is just running at a very, very fast pace, right? From point A to point B as fast as you can, catching your breath, and then doing that 10 different times, 10 times, right? So I'll mark off 100 yards, right? The length of a football field. And I'll sprint from one goal post to the next goal post as fast as I can. And my goal as of yesterday was to do that 10 times. So I start off running, sprinting, right? I'm feeling great, feeling good, right? Now, I hadn't sprinted in quite some time. I missed a couple of days, so I hadn't been doing sprints. But the first 1 to 3 to 4 sprints, I felt great. Felt fantastic, right? Got to sprint number 5. Now, I'm halfway through it. I start to feel my legs a little bit. I said, okay, all right, the muscle's starting to kick up a little bit. I feel the back of my legs. I feel my stomach a little bit. I'm starting to feel this a little bit, right? Fine. I get to number 6, doing the 6th time. Now, number 6, I didn't quite finish it the way I wanted to finish it. My legs started getting a little shaky. So now, the thoughts start to come in. Man, you know what? Maybe I'll stop right here. I want to be able to walk tomorrow. I want to be able to walk later. Right? My legs starting to kick in. Starting to feel a little throbbing a little now. I haven't done it in quite some time, so I'm kind of feeling the muscles kind of shake a little bit. Right? So I'm saying, well, maybe I should just, I can always stop and come back later and do this later. Right? So that's what I'm telling myself. And I said, no. Well, I'm looking for ways out. I'm looking for excuses, for ways to get out of this now. Right? And the thoughts start to pop up with look for logical reason. Maybe somebody will pop up in the park, or maybe somebody, something will happen. I'm looking for a back door. Right? A logical excuse to not finish what I set out and wanted to do. Not reach the goal I wanted to reach. And that's what happens, right, when you set a goal. Right? Initially it sounds great. When you set it, it's easy. It was easy at the time, but now as you start to go towards that goal, things start to happen, right? It starts to get a little challenging, gets a little rough, and now you start looking for ways out. Oh, this is getting tough. I'm starting to feel this thing a little bit, or it's not as easy as I, was hoping it would be. Maybe I should, take a break, or maybe I can do this thing later, or it makes sense. I'm good for right now, but you set a goal, right? And if you stop in the middle of that goal, you'll never achieve success, and then that leads you to feeling a little depressed sometimes, right? Because you said you wanted to do this, right? And you felt good at the time when you said it, but now that it's getting a little challenging, are you looking for a back door? Looking for a logical reason to stop, a logical reason to quit, right? So here I am. I'm at number 6. I'm feeling my legs. It's feeling a little rough right now, right? So I'm telling my mind, part of my mind is saying, oh, take a break, Kenneth. You can do this later on. You know what? You're good for right now. Doing 6 sprints is great. You can always do it later. Do it tomorrow, right? But something inside of me urged me to go on because I didn't get that sixth lap the way I wanted to do it. I said, well, I'll do it one more time. I do this one more time. So I have 7 in, right? Because 7 in the Bible means fullness and complete, right? So I'll come do number 7 and be full and complete, and I'll stop at that. So here I go. I sprint for the 7th time. And now all of a sudden, my thoughts start to shift. I say, man, I just got 3 more of these to do. I got 3 more, and I'm looking at the field. See, if I run down, right, I got 2 left. So now my thinking starts to shift a little bit. My energy level starts to shift a little bit. All of a sudden, my legs aren't starting to shake as much, right? I'm not feeling the vibes in my legs anymore because now my energy levels start to raise up and I can see the finish line. I said I was going to do 10, but at number 6, I was ready to back out. Say, you know what? I can do this later. I can come back and finish this tomorrow, right? Because we know that we're the only ones who are going to know. Nobody else will know but you. And it makes sense because, you know, it just makes sense for me to stop because for whatever reason, I decide to use as a reasonable or logical excuse. But now when I did that 7th lap, I can see the finish line and my thoughts started to shift. My energy level started to shift. I said, wow, you know what? I said, okay, let me run down right now before I have time to think about it. Then that'll be lap number 8. Then I just have 2 more, which means I go down and I got to come back and I'll be finished. So now I'm getting a little bit excited. My energy level's picking up. Man, I can see it right now. So right now I'm psyching myself up, preparing myself, and I sprint down for the 8th repetition. 8 laps down. Now I say, man, I can see it now, right? My legs aren't throbbing anymore. And all of a sudden, those thoughts I was having before about trying to back out are suddenly silenced. I don't hear that stinking thinking anymore. I'm not talking to myself in my mind anymore. The thoughts have been turned off, right? So I can see the finish line. Man, I was ready to stop at 6, pretty much at 5, halfway in. I did number 7. I saw a shift in my thinking. I saw a shift in my energy. Because now I can see what I wasn't able to see before. I'm right there. I'm so close. I'm at lap number 8. I got 2 more, which means if I run down to the end of this field, I got to get back because my truck's down. My truck's parked at the other end, so I got to come back down. So now I'm looking for reasons to finish. Logical reasons to finish, whereas before I was looking for logical reasons to stop, to back out. So my whole thinking just shifted now. Well, now it makes, because I go down there, I got to come back to my trucks over here. Now I'm looking for reasons to win. So now I'm getting pumped up, I'm getting excited, my energy levels are up, I don't hear those thoughts anymore, right? I'm looking, I can see it right now. So I run down, I got 9 laps in. I got 1 more lap to do. Now I got to come back down because my truck's down there, so now I got to do it. I got no other choice, right? So now I'm getting excited. And something starts to happen, right? Now, I hadn't done this in so long, but oftentimes, whenever we set out to do something that we really want to do, right? A goal, right? Goals give you direction. That's it. Goals are just things that give you direction, give you a purpose, give you a guideline to follow, right? When you set a goal, when you go through all these challenges, right? And challenges are going to pop up inside of your life. Whether you realize it or not, right? You set a goal high enough, there's going to always be something, a hurdle you're going to have to jump or crawl under or go around, right? And there's going to be a struggle, right? A point of decision where you have to decide, do I really want to do this? Man, do I really want to do this? I said I wanted to do it, right? But do I really want to do this? Because now it's getting a little bit harder. It's a bit more hard than what I thought it was going to be. So when you get to that point where you're almost near the finish line, you can see the finish. Sometimes overwhelming emotion starts to come up, right? Out of nowhere. It just starts to come up and, you know, tears may start to flow and like, oh my God. Because you realize the effort it took for you mentally to get to where you are right now, to get to that point where you're almost finished, right? And you just feel all this energy. Man, I worked so hard to get here, and I'm almost there. So now emotions start to pour out. Tears of joy start to pour out because you think about the struggle you went through to get here. You almost quit. You almost stopped. And it made sense back then for you to stop at that point. But if you had stopped, you would never realize the joy of experiencing your goal. The thing you set out in front of you, you said you wanted to do. So I'm at lap number 9. And this morning was a struggle for me mentally. Oh, wow, man, you know what? This was a struggle. But now I got one more lap to do and I'm finished. One more lap to do and it's a wrap. One more lap to do and I'm headed home. So I'm excited, and this emotion is wound up inside of me because this morning was really a struggle, but it was also an experience. It showed me all the hurdles we have to go through, right? And this is something I already know, but I was grateful for the opportunity to look back at the struggle that it took for me to get to this point. It started off simple with an idea, and I spoke it with a word, and I spoke it with energy, with excitement. But then as I started going through the process of getting to that goal, it became a fight. It became a struggle. It became a hurdle. My thoughts tried to betray me, tried to talk me out of doing what I really wanted to do. And that's what happens with a lot of us right now. There's things that we really want to do, but we talk ourselves out of it when it gets too much of a struggle, right? It gets too hard, gets too challenging. Things pop up in our life. Family issues pop up in our life. Work issues pop up in our life. Health issues pop up in our life. But we set a goal at the very beginning. It made sense then, but now it still makes sense, but we want to talk ourselves out of it for whatever reason. So I'm at number 9. I'm feeling this emotion because I knew this morning was a struggle, but I'm looking back at the process. The process I went through to get to this point. The process of decisiveness, making a decision where at halfway through, I felt like coming back later on. So I'd do this tomorrow. But I said I was going to, but yesterday I said I was going to do this today. Right? So technically there's no tomorrow. I said I was going to do 10 sprints this morning at 4 a.m. And I got to finish it. I still had one more to do. So without giving it too much thought, I regained my focus. Right? And then I set out to do this last sprint, and something funny happened. And this happens to a lot of people. As you set out, even as you're closing in on your goal, you can see the finish line. Your mind at the very last minute your thoughts at the very last minute will still try to trip you up. Right? At the very last second. Right? But unless you have the fortitude to push through, force through, you won't hit that goal. So at the very last second, as I go to do lap number 10, this is the finisher, the last one I got to do, I lost focus for a second. Right? And that very second I realized, hey, my mind's trying to trip me up right now. But I pushed through, I regained focus, pushed through, and kept moving in spite of my thoughts trying to betray me at the very last minute. And I finished strong and finished hard, and I finished that last repetition. 10 sprints. I spoke it last night. I did it today, but it was a process. It was a struggle getting to that point. But when I finished it, I felt this sense of accomplishment. I felt this sense of achievement. I felt this sense of beating the toughest enemy that I will ever have in my life, or the toughest competitor that I will ever have in my life, which is myself. See, the hardest struggles we will ever have is with ourselves, not with other people. Now, other people can give you headaches if you allow them to, right? They'll ruffle your feathers, kind of mess you up. But the toughest struggle you ever have is with yourself, right? That's your toughest competitor. You look in the mirror, that's your competition. That's who you're competing with, right? So how bad do you want it? No one else may ever know, but you will know, right? You say you want to get to a certain point in your life, right? You say you want to drop weight. We use that. We'll use that as an example. You say you want to drop weight, right? It sounds good in the beginning. It sounds great at the time. You said it with enthusiasm and joy and excitement. But as you go through the process, a struggle happens. It starts to kick in. You're like, oh God, this ain't as easy as I thought it was going to be. Oh man, I got to stick to this. Maybe I'll do this later. Maybe well, I don't look that bad. I'm pretty healthy. I don't feel too bad. No, it's okay. I can come back and do this later on. Whatever the case is, you talk yourself out of it. These thoughts will come to you, and the struggle will start to happen. And now that weight loss goal of 50 pounds, the weight loss goal of 100 pounds, the weight loss goal of 10 or even 20 pounds, which sounded good in the beginning, now became a struggle. And now your mind, your thoughts look for reasons to back out. Because, man, I said I was going to stick to a diet, but man, those donuts, that pizza smells good. Man, those fried chicken wings, whatever the case is, looks pretty tasty. I just have just one. I just take just one. And that one little loss of focus sends you to the races, and now you just messed up your goal, right? You messed up what you said you were going to do. You set a goal for yourself, and you kind of messed up, got off track. You're feeling kind of bad because oh man, I screwed up. But you can always get back up. Always get back up and start again. But you want to get to a point where you don't keep falling and getting back up. See, that's grace. Grace is having the ability, you fall 7 times and you can get back up and start again. That's grace, right? You always have the ability to do that. But at the same time, that keeps you a long way from your goal, a long way from achieving, a long way from finishing, right? It'll take you a whole lot longer to finish, whereas if you just buckle down, so you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get through these struggles, get through these mental challenges by whatever means necessary. In the beginning, where you was looking for a way out when it got tough, look for a way to stay with the program. Look for a way to win, right? And that's what I went through again as I shared my story. When it got a little challenging, it made sense to look for a way to back out. I can do this later. I can come back and finish this tomorrow. I don't want to be too sore. And then when I pushed through that, I started looking for ways to stay in the game. Man, I got 3 left. If I run down fast enough, before I have time to think about it, I have 2 left. Now I'm getting excited because now I'm finding ways to finish. So when you learn to make that shift in your thinking, rather than looking for ways to back out, looking for ways to quit, logical, and it sounds logical, it's always logical. It always makes sense. But when you, on the other side of that coin, you make that shift, look for ways to stay in the game. Look for ways to finish your goal. And you're going to feel a shift in your energy. See, when you look for ways to back out, look for ways to quit, there's very little energy. You don't feel anything. It's just simply a thought process. But when you look for ways to stay in, you become energized, right? Because now you're speaking this thing and your energy levels are rising up to meet you where you are. So you have the energy, the power, the strength, the endurance to finish and go towards your goal. It's really just that simple. And once you realize that and see that when you look for ways to quit, to back out, there's no energy. But when you look for ways to stay in, you feel that energy pick up. Use that to your advantage. Use that to launch forward. Use that to go towards and do and have and be whatever you say you want to have. And that's how you win. So even the best people go through this. Even the athletes go through this, right? They go through the process. But the thing with athletes are they have a goal. And they know in order to become the best in their field, they got to finish. They got to complete that goal, right? They might be throwing up, right? They might be hurling because they're pushing themselves so hard that they throw up, right? All those toxins coming out their system. But after they throw up, they feel better and they can push even harder, right? This morning, I felt like throwing up because I was pushing myself. But I know that's part of the process. That means I'm stretching myself to the limit, right? And it's a process. And I've trained people before in the past, right? push so hard they actually do throw up. But when they throw up, they feel, oh, I feel so much better. They go even harder. Because that throwing up is a process. They're puking up all the poison, puking up all the toxins, everything that would hold them back, everything that doesn't mesh, doesn't meet with the example, with the vision they have for themselves. It's got to come out of your system. It's got the body. Hey, you got to get that crap out. So the body simply is purging itself of all the poison, all the blockages that will block it from excelling and from winning. So sometimes it's going to be hard, but you got to stay in the game. If you speak a goal, if you write a goal, right? By all means, do whatever necessary to finish it. See, everybody goes through this process. But the winners, and you're all winners. The thing about winning is just cultivating those habits to win. Cultivating the mindset to win. Having the discipline to win. Understanding that thoughts are going to come, whether you call on them or not. They're going to come. When a struggle happens, thoughts are going to come. Right? It's always going to come. But when you learn to overlook those thoughts, and the only way you can kill a negative thought is with a spoken word. Thoughts will come, right? Don't entertain those thoughts too long, because if you entertain it too long, you'll give those thoughts life and you'll act out on those thoughts. And if winning was the goal, you fail. But even the word fail, right? You never fail as long as you continue to strive. You might be striving towards something and you might not hit it. You might not get it. Don't look at failing as a bad thing. Failing is just the first attempt in learning, right? Break it down. F-A-I-L, fail. Fail is just the first attempt in learning. You're learning something new. You're learning a new behavior. You're learning and creating a new habit, right? You're doing something different. It's just the first attempt. Understand it's a process. It's a growth process. And when you look at it from that perspective, you win every single time. And you have something to build upon. So next time when you go out there, you get a little bit farther and a little bit farther. You do a little bit better. So get into the habit of speaking yourself into winning. Looking for ways to stay in the game and win. We all go through this. But the winners have cultivated habits to get them through those hurdles. To get them through those tough times. Right? Don't let how you feel dictate where you go. Whatever vision you have for yourself, maintain to that vision. Speak words. Cultivate habits and actions to help you get there. Because no matter how tough it gets, when you're able to accomplish one thing, and you went through hell to get there, but you accomplished it still in spite of everything you had to go through, you can get through anything. Relationships, finances, family, businesses, whatever the case is, you can get through anything. Health issues. Because you learn how to cultivate it. And now you're a winner. So keep winning. Winning is a process. It's a mental acquisition of positive habits. Learn how to win. Keep winning. Keep speaking. Keep putting goals in front of you and stick to those goals. Doesn't matter what you have to go through to get there. Just get there. Each step is a process. Inch by inch is a cinch. With that said, I want to thank you all for watching. The presence of God in me. Bless the presence of God in you. Let's keep winning. Have a blessed day. And remember, great things are happening to you today. Great things are coming your way today. All you do is win. Have a blessed day.